And if you listen, you can hear the wind just roaring. It's really blowing hard out there. Now, we just got back from another Olin auction, and you know what that means. And I can tell you right now that I'm going to have to skip over a lot of that stuff and piece it in over the next couple of videos because there's some video worthy stuff. But for this video, this was one of the acquisitions. C&O flatbed with Ford Rancheros to go along with the Corvettes, to go along with the tow trucks, fire trucks, and Chevelles. I don't know if they're Novas or one guy said they're Novas. I think they're Chevelles. But now, in addition to the Olin auction, I kind of made a little bit of a mistake. I guess it's going to work out fine. Now I purchased this on eBay. This was an MTH round top box car. I really like it. I like the metal trucks. I like their little spring suspension. You know, very well put together. Rolls really nice. Got a little weight to it. But what was going on is I saw some stuff of interest. The price was low. So on eBay, what I do is I just put like $2 more than whatever the starting bid was. And I figured, you know, if it grew on me, you know, I'll bid it and get it. But if it doesn't, I'll let it go. It's kind of like watching. The problem was nobody bid on them. Just me. So I ended up with a bunch of stuff. And one of such situations was these 4 boxes that I got for about $40, about $10 a box. You know, on eBay, $10 a box isn't that bad. But these are kind of like the cheese ball MPC era, plastic trucks, steel wheels, and this one's got a steel frame, but still got plastic trucks. But the endearing feature of these, not just the price, steel wheels, plastic side plates in the truck, you know, actually plastic trucks altogether, operating couplers, cool road names, that's all good, but they're lightweight. So when I want to pull a long train with my old Alcos or my old post-war Lionel steam engines, you can stack a whole bunch of those things up, and if you have the wheels lubed, they're lightweight and they roll pretty good. So now I like these. You know, I know they're kind of candy colored and, you know, a little bit the toy side. Just for fun. Nothing real or prototypical about it. This will be a train I pull out for the kids or for myself once in a while. It'd be my car show train. And I'll look for more. If I find any more of these MTHs I don't have, I'll probably snag them. For whatever reason, I think I understand, but for whatever reason, they don't go for a lot. I think, you know, on eBay they were going for like, you know, $15-20 plus $10 shipping. And these right here got all 3 for the same price as one. Because, you know, the model railroad type is more into prototypical stuff than toys. You know, kind of takes away a little bit of the origins of the toy trains with Lionel and stuff like that. But the last half century, it's gone from being toy trains to model trains. Now you have things like the Williams and MTH, Scalo, and all that stuff that they have now. But layout is evolving. I hear that windmill making a racket. Needs a little bit of maintenance. just like the locomotives. Right? My bears are still having their conference around the fire, trying to decide what's important in life. Watching the goings on. The forest is beginning to grow. And picked up a different truck. One of those eBay purchases where I just put $1 over was this 2035. Now, I want to add some of this class to the collection anyway, so I'm not totally unhappy with the way it fell because I got it for a good price, $40. The reason I want these, the K4s, the K4 patterns, because Pennsylvania used them for just about everything. They did haul freight, coal, and all that stuff. They'd double them up if they needed to. They used them for pushers. They just used them all over the place during the period of time they were in operation in the 30s and the 40s. Whereas New York Central and others with the Hudson pattern, that was more of a passenger locomotive than it was a freight, you know. So that square boiler and K4 style pattern is something I've been kind of looking for. I want to get more. Lionel made a couple on that chassis, you know, and there are a couple iterations. This was a later one. You can tell by the spoke wheels and the way the rear truck is. Now the 675 was an earlier version of that, and I want one of those. I'm looking for one that has the Baldwin pattern wheels eventually, and get a couple of them, and then I can build long coal trains that look like they came up out of Pennsylvania, because that's what would have pulled them. Where these were primarily passenger locomotives. Now, in terms of the way the actual chassis is laid out, where the motor is, stuff like that, you see the motors back there. You also notice the E units up there. The 218, 226, that series had a different layout. You see where the E unit is on these. The motor is a little further to the front. So it's a different chassis. These have more in common with some of these older ones like this one. Or even this 2055. Again, the E unit being up here, and the basic motor, the layout was pretty much the same. And see, even has a screw right there. So these guys are more of the same era. So that should be pulling passenger cars. And this, coal cars. And then I will be at peace with the world with these things. And this, I don't care, just pull. They're fun. Good running locomotives, these 2055s. I almost grabbed one today, but it just went over $100, and I said, no. So I'll get into this in a little more detail, but I want to get a 675 before I start tearing into them and showing you the guts. For now, I think I want to see if it runs, and see if I can pull some coal cars, doing what it would have done in real life. Well, this is the first 2035 I've ever experienced in any way, shape, or form. I'm quite impressed. It seems to me like it's a powerhouse. It'll handily outpull the 2026 and 2018 class. It's right there with the 2055 in terms of how hard it pulls, even the steam turbine. You know, the 871. So I want more. I think I want to find a 675, like I said, with the Baldwin disc tires or wheels, and just run this thing. What a beast. Well, this here is not an eBay purchase. It's one of my Olin auction purchases. It looked perfect on the outside, but it put up in the track, it wouldn't move. I got inside and realized that someone had put the body down and pinched the wires and shorted things right out completely. So now the question is, how much do I have to rewire, right? And it needs a couple of traction tires too. But we got good bones. Oh, I can tell this is going to be a lot of fun. a couple of things you may notice. This is truly articulated in the sense that each one of these trucks right here is an independent beast. And I'm not the first person to be in this thing, obviously. This guy here was put on wrong too. So I had to redo that. It was jammed up pretty tight. So